This next video is going to be about whether we want to further process joint products. Okay, it's kind of an odd way to think about it, but basically, right, there's products and you make them, they're sort of indistinguishable from each other up until a point, and then they get split off. And so the point of separating the products is called the split-off point. And so sometimes once you've split your products into subgroups, it makes sense to actually take and process some of those subgroups further, depending on what your costs and benefits of that processing is. So we're going to use an example from agriculture. And it's probably, rather than me trying to think of other examples, it's probably easy to just run to this other example from your book. Okay, so here's our example. We are an apple orchard. We grow apples and then we sort them into one of three grades, A, B, or C, based on their condition. Right, so if you imagine, grade A apples are the beautiful, unblemished apples that you just want to eat out of hand, and they're crispy and they're yummy. And grade B apples are a little bit, maybe they got some bruises, maybe they aren't quite so yummy looking, maybe they have a bug in them, right? And grade C apples are the ones that you're really only going to make apple cider with. They've been sitting on the ground, they're, halfway to getting eaten up by the flies. You guys have all seen this, right? So Apple Time needs to decide for grade B whether they want to sell them as they are, selling grade B apples at a 5-pound bag for $1.25 for their wholesaler, or if they process the apples into pie filling, they would get 500 cans of filling with additional costs of 24 cents per can, and they can sell them for 90 cents per can. So let's go over to Excel and set this up. All right, so we're going to take the information that we have. It's sell or process further. Okay, so the benefit from selling, we're going to have, let's see, 120 bags times $1.25. So they are going to get $150 of contribution to their bottom line if they sell those apples. If they sell the apples, and this is actually, I should have put this revenue, right? And then additional costs are nothing if they sell the apples, just as are. If they make pie filling, the revenue is going to be, let's see, 500 cans times 90 cents, 0.9. Yeah, what did I do? 0.9. Go. So they're going to have $450 of additional revenue, but their costs are going to be 24 times those 500 cans, 24 cents. So their cost is going to be 120. So that means that the contribution from each, right, selling the apples is going to be 150 minus nothing. And for making the filling, the contribution is going to be 450 minus 120. Okay? And so that's basically all you have to do to solve those. Let's run through this. What's the contribution? So I just went through it, right? I didn't even look at this slide before I started talking through how to solve it. Right? You figure out how much money you make from selling the apples. You figure out how much money you make net of the additional costs from selling the pie filling. And then, depending on which one makes more money, you pick the more profitable option. So let's take a look and make sure I got it right. There it is. They should process the grade B apples into pie filling because the company will make $330 versus the $150 it would make by selling the apples in bags. So that's how you structure a sell or process further decision. That kind of decision is ubiquitous in agriculture and other sort of moving from raw resources into value-added products. That's why they call it value add, right? Because you're adding value to the product. And so these are, that's how you do a sell or process further decision. Quick one this time.